I'm a mess and on mobile, so I'm sorry if this makes no sense. My boyfriend of almost 2 years has essentially been living a double life. I'm baffled as to how he pulled this off. When we met, he told me he was on the tail end of a nasty lengthy divorce, but that he had moved on and it would never pose an issue, and until now he was right, it never has. Last week I took a pregnancy test that came back positive, and yesterday morning I had a OBGYN visit to confirm. I was honestly ecstatic. I've always wanted to be a mom and my boyfriend felt the same. We talked about our future children many times even though we haven't been together for the longest time. I was really excited to tell him that night when he came over for dinner, but his reaction was weird. His face went pale and he looked confused, not what I expected at all, and he got up to go to the bathroom. When he came back he was really calm and really serious, and he told me that he was really afraid and didn't know how me and our baby would factor into his life, and he made the decision to come clean. Not only is he nowhere near being divorced from his wife, who he's been with for close to a decade, but they have 2 kids together, 4 and 6. I have no idea how. I never had even a clue. He works a lot and really early, which is the reason he would rarely spend nights over. That being said, it's not like he hardly spent any time with me. I'm heartbroken and confused, and his confession left me with absolutely no idea what to do. I'm still pregnant, with his 3rd child, and he's still very much married. He left right after that conversation, and I've called and texted, but the only response I've gotten is that he'll speak to me tomorrow night after work. His demeanor is so cold and unfamiliar that I'm terrified he's going to leave me to figure out this pregnancy on my own. Another part of me doesn't want him anymore. If he's this good of a liar, what else has he lied about? What else could he lie about? I also would hate to break up a family like this. I feel disgusted in this whole situation. I've never felt more alone and confused. Should I be preemptive and leave him, or are there other ways I could go about this? Update: I think it's clear that I need to leave him, but that's about all that's clear for me right now. I want to be a mom, but these are the worst circumstances for that I can imagine. I'm trying to think of ways to contact his wife and can't think of any. I do believe I was at the house where they once lived at one point, but he has moved since then allegedly, so I have no idea what the new address is. I can't seem to piece this together at all. I don't understand how I was fooled for so long. I think I'm still in shock. To recap, I am leaving. I'm not sure if I want to abort, and as much as I want to tell his wife, I have no way of doing that. I guess I'll wait until he speaks with me tomorrow. Thank you guys. If you'd like updates, I'll keep posting. Update 2, I found his wife through a website someone sent me. He wasn't lying when he said he had no social media, but she does. Seeing the pictures of them made me realize I cannot keep our child. His family is beautiful and it breaks my heart to know he could do this to them. I cannot have the father of my child be someone like him. I still have no idea how to tell his wife. Top 5 comments. 1. You didn't break up his family. He did that himself. 2. Oh, my heart breaks for you. You absolutely need to leave. You will never trust him, ever. Decide if you want to keep this baby as a single mom. He will have to provide you child support most likely. Yes, he will have to tell his wife, and if she's smart, she will also leave. She has a right to know. Please remember, you did not destroy his family. He did that. He alone did that. You have a ton of emotions right now and I don't blame you for being confused, but please, walk away. Who close to you can you confide in? This is also an epic betrayal and I advise you to see a therapist as you navigate the next year. 3. Please tell someone in your life that you are meeting with them tomorrow or meet in public just to be safe. Men have hurt women for far less reasons. 4. Get out of the mess as fast as possible. Make sure you inform his wife about it all as well. 5. He's going to leave you. You were just the side piece to a very immoral and selfish man. Do not expect him to do anything decent to anyone. Not to you, not his wife, and not his other children. This pregnancy with his side piece is not going to change him into a good person. End your relationship with him and decide what you are going to do about your pregnancy. If you are going to have a baby and be a mom, you will at some point have to inform his family so you can get child support. I suggest talking to a lawyer before you do anything because you could easily financially screw this up for your kid's future. If you are going to abort, then the question about telling his wife is a different beast. I personally would, because I think she needs to know the type of person she is so she can protect herself and in part for petty revenge. Story 2. My Bill is staying with us and I think I'm in love with him, so I ask my husband to kick him out cause I'm afraid to have an affair. I 27 female think I'm falling in love with my brother-in-law 26 male. My husband will 28 male and I 27 female have been married for just over a year and have been together for 4 years total. When COVID lockdown began, Will's brother Liam 26 male asked if he could come stay with us as his roommate is an essential worker and he is high-risk Crohn's. Before this, Liam and I knew each other but definitely not well. We'd met probably under 10 times. But since he moved in, we've been spending a ton of time together and alone. My husband is a lawyer, so he's holed up in his office most of the day. Liam and I are both technically still working, but work has kind of dried up for both both of us, so most of our days is free time. Liam's been living with us for over 3 months. The first week Liam moved in, I was struck by how similar we were, much more so than my husband and I are. We have a similar sense of humor, similar interests, and I'd say our overall energy is very similar. He also looks a lot like Will, except, since we got married, Will has gained about 30 pounds. Liam, on the other hand, is very fit. You get where I'm going here. I don't know Liam well enough to know for sure if he's flirting with me, but it certainly feels like it. He laughs a lot at my jokes, teases me, and drops everything, e.g., hanging up on phone calls with friends if I suggest we do something together, go to the store, or play a game, whatever. The way he looks at me also feels very affectionate and occasionally intense. We spend a lot of time tanning in the yard or in the pool, so we're seeing each other half naked a lot. The sexual tension, at least on my end, is through the roof. My sex life with Will has also been flagging, which doesn't help. We've also gotten emotionally close. We have a lot of late night, usually drunk, high talks alone because Will tends to go to bed early. We share a ton of inside jokes. We text, even though we're in the same house. When I see him, his name on my phone, I get that giddy feeling in my stomach like I do in the early courtship stages of a relationship. I guess I didn't recognize the extent of the problem until last week. On Wednesday night, I had a very vivid sex dream about Liam. I woke up incredibly horny and initiated sex with Will, but was thinking about Liam the whole time. I felt so guilty and disgusting after. Then, on Friday night, we were all drunk and had put on music and were just dancing stupidly. Liam and I kept dancing when Will went to bed, and it got a little heated. We were jokingly grinding and rubbing up on each other, except it didn't really feel like a joke. Since then, I keep having these thoughts of what life would be like if I'd met Liam instead of Will first, or what Liam would be like as a husband. I talked to Will today about possibly asking Liam to leave, under the guise of needing more privacy and more space for our relationship. Will was kind of taken aback, since we get along so well, and more or less shot down the idea since Liam has nowhere else to go. I feel like I'm dangerously close to having an affair, if what's happening now doesn't already count as cheating, and I don't know what I can do. Any advice is appreciated. Thanks. Edit. I woke up to this post having blown up. I'm trying to read every comment, but it's a little overwhelming. To clarify a few points, I don't know if this really matters, but a lot of comments have glommed onto this point. Liam and I both work, and are both earning our regular salaries right now. I make more money than Will. There's just less work right now, so we have a lot of free time. I may be a shitty person in other ways, but the leech narrative is false. Sorry. I'm not sure if I want to stay with Will or if he even wants to stay with me. Our married life has been rocky, even before all this problems with intimacy, affection, lack of time for each other, lack of communication, which we've talked about and tried to address to no avail. Liam reminds me of what Will was like while we were dating. Not just physically, I was trying to say this in a comment, but was sleepy and it came out jumbled and kind of the opposite of what I was trying to say. But our married life also overlaps significantly with a really chaotic and stressful time in the world and in Will's work, so I'm not sure if these problems are just temporary. I am not considering physically cheating. I'm just afraid that if we're in the house together all the time, the situation will only worsen, e.g., my feelings get stronger and it becomes harder to cut off.